tell me a little bit about your father-in-law and the role he played in your life.
Well, Bill initially I met Bill in 1977, January 77, when I got married. And he was introduced to me as a very successful New York lawyer who had a significant amount of net worth. And so I was somewhat inhibited by him. Mm-hmm. But well, actually, I met Bill before my wedding, and I'll never forget when I first met Bill. It was we met in he had an apartment in the Carlisle House in New York City, and we were sitting in his library, and he said, "You know, I like you." And he knew me initially from my nickname, which is Buddy. My mother and father called me Buddy, and my family calls me Buddy. And he said, "I like you, Buddy, because I could never really pronounce any of the names of Catherine's other boyfriends." Because she had dated people mostly from an international group. And we got along very well from the beginning. And Bill took me under his arm and taught me more about business and the real estate business than anybody else ever could have. He took me through the graduate school of real estate and let me make mistakes that cost a lot of money. A lot of money. And he was very patient with me. He watched me learn, watched me make my mistakes, and at the end of every day in my business career, while we were in business 30 years, my last phone call of every day was Bill. Mm-hmm. We would talk to each other. What happened? What's going on? And he would usually start out our conversation, "Give me some good news, Hilton." And I would always struggle to make sure I had some good news for him on a daily basis. He did a lot of good things for Charleston. He created 2 charitable trusts that contributed. One day we were adding it up, and I think it was about $20 million to our community, from the College of Charleston, MUSC, the Aquarium, Spoleto, USA, the Community Foundation. Bill was an amazing philanthropist because he would deal with the front money. The hardest thing when you come up with an idea is that seed money. Mm-hmm. How can you create the beginning of it? And there's an organization here called the Palmetto Project. I remember back in the early 80s, Bill said, "Hilton, you got to come to Columbia. I want you to meet a friend of mine, Phil Noble." I said, "Okay." So Catherine and he said, "Now it's going to be a dinner party, so you need to get dressed up." I said, "Okay." And we went to the state, to the state capitol, and every governor that was alive from the state of South Carolina was there. About 12 people. There's a picture of it outside the door. And Bill had organized the governors so that we'd have this big party and celebrate the Palmetto Project and its great accomplishments. Since that time, the Palmetto Project provides health care and prescriptions for people in need throughout the state of South Carolina. They came up with this one, every child should have a laptop. They've given away $1 million for the laptops to young students in our state that can't afford to have one. And his generosity was international. He was the president of the Friends of the Hermitage. He was the reason why one of the largest donors to the East-West Institute, which is a international think and do tank to try and solve and help problems around the world. And that's why I'm on the East-West Institute board of directors, because of my father-in-law's leadership and his legacy. So he introduced me to philanthropy, which has been a wonderful experience.